for you is like a truck berserker. Would you like some making buck berserker?
Hey-o! Ryan, we're in the future. Check your rocky boots, mate.
I know I'm fucking flying here.
2024.
It is, to be precise, it is January 23rd. It is Clerks Day.
This is Clerks Day today. This is a huge movie.
So we're recording on Clerks Day, which is the 30th anniversary of the movie. This will be released in a couple of days from now, even further in the future.
Huge for us.
Yeah, this movie defined our relationship.
This is kind of the one, we were working in retail. Two, this bridged the gap in our age difference a little bit.
Yeah, what is it, 5 or 6 years?
5-6 years, and that's kind of a good tell. Kevin Smith's a good sort of barometer for that, I think.
Yeah, because you're either too old to appreciate this, or you're too young. You're like, who's this guy making black and white films while we're talking?
I also think, like, you're either a Clerks fan or a Jane Silent Bob fan.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
I am more a Clerks fan. Let's get into this. Clerks 1994.
A day in the life of two convenience store clerks named Dante and Randall as they annoy customers, discuss movies and play hockey on the store roof.
He is more of a personality now.
Yeah, he's himself. He's a big version of himself. He goes on, he's doing a cruise next month where it's just him, and you can go on a cruise with Jane, Silent Bob and the gang, get your photos taken and listen to podcasts and stuff. It's not for me personally, but like, he's still got that big fan base. It's the comic book men stuff. It's just reality shows and pop figures and conventions. He created a universe before Marvel got there cinematically, so it's really impressive. Yeah, and the fact that he'd done it from a low budget black and white movie is really impressive. Like, fair play to him. And I'm still a fan. Like, I'll go and see any Kevin Smith movie just because I feel like I'm obligated to. Oh yeah, I do like that run of pretty strange Kevin Smith movies. I did talk up Tusk. I liked Tusk. My wife was very angry when I showed her Tusk. I understand. As was a couple of friends who I recommended it to. I really appreciated that Justin Long went there with that film. Yeah, totally. Michael Parks is terrifying. So terrifying in that movie and weird, and you never know how far he's going to go. He does go there. I also like Red State quite a bit. Yeah, so we've got Clerks. We have Mallrats. Excellent movie. Chasing Amy. Dogma. Jane Silent Bob Strike Back. Jersey Girl. Yep. A movie which I will defend. Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Yes, I don't know if I've missed one in between them. Well, there's the Clerks animated TV show as well. The Reaper pilot, which was excellent. Loved that show, Reaper. Great. Reaper is an amazing show. Reaper rules. If you've not watched it, go watch it now. Tyler Labine is so funny in it. It's incredible. Cop Out. Tusk. In fairness, Cop Out, he didn't write. He just directed that film. It wasn't his project. That was the most worrying aspect for me. That he was doing other people's shit. I mean, let's talk about it. Kevin Smith's a writer. Yeah. It's how you define it. I don't want to say he's a bad director because he's a great director with actors. He's a good visually manager. He's not a great cinematographer. Not at all. He's not good at setting up his shots and stuff, but in fairness, he admits that. He's never wanted to be that guy. He's never tried to be that guy. He knows that his strength lies in dialogue. The ironic thing was, when he wrote Clerks, he was a young guy. He was a Gen Xer, so he was writing for the people like him. Whereas now he's I don't know, he's 50 odd. He's the scientist now. They don't know that they're Gen Xers. Yeah, they think they know it all. They think they know it all.
they're just living as is, and only now as an older man can he reflect back and say, that's Gen X, it's only looking back you can do that.
Yeah.
This is great, and some of the lines of dialogue in this are still today just phenomenal, and you realise he was only in his early 20s.
Yep.
It's a movie I never really want to see in high definition.
Well, here's the thing, right? So I watched as you did as well, watched the Blu-ray version.
The decisions behind it are breathtaking. He knew that he didn't have the money for artificial lighting, so he had to use what he had. Yeah. So he had to block that front. He wrote that into the story.
Wrote it in the story.
He wrote it into the story so that he's got nothing but pure light.
And it means he can also shoot in day or night because there's no outside light telling you what time of day you're at.
He infamously would work in the store during the day, shoot at night, sometimes the other way around. As we watch these credits, photography by David Klein shows up.
One of these, if not the most in-demand cinematographer in the world.
Right? My man is working on Star Wars for real now, man.
Yep.
That is so overwhelming, you could cry if you thought about that. Yep. They're having minor discussions. This boy's working in this sweaty little convenience shop in Jersey. He's working in Star Wars now, man. It's so mind-blowing. Yeah. Well done, David Klein.
And he's doing everything. He's not like the guy to go to for like Succession, for everything.
His work's also glorious. Clerks 2 is such an evolution from this. He nailed it. So, Clerks 1994. Yeah, everybody kept their weed in the VHS tape when I was a kid.
I had the Beavis and Butthead to America DVD where I kept my weed. The VHS Beavis and Butthead.
Big perfect box.
The reason I picked that one is because that's the one my dad would like. Because sometimes he'd come into my room and take some of VHSs to watch, and I thought, my dad hates Beavis and Butthead, I'll put my weed in there.
Smart decision.
It worked. They never, not once did they give you that thing.
Clerks 1994. A really cute Alsatian sleeps in a bed. Did you see this, Doug?
You're going too far forward. Can we go back to the opening title credits with the view askew vulgar icon?
I'd rather know, man.
This is pretty creepy, isn't it?
This just hit. It wasn't alright back then, this.
It wasn't, but have you seen, again, okay, so, sorry, I know we're going all over the place, we're a bit excited. We've been away for a while. This is our first podcast back, so we're getting excited. Let's just slow down. Take a breath. Right.
You've got a big bushy beard now.
I know, man.
I wear white suits and a white hat. You know, like the man for Del Monte?
I was saying I'm at the end of Hannibal.
That's what I was going for.
Nice.
I'm meeting a pal for dinner. We're back, baby.
So, we're going to just assume that if you're listening to this podcast that you have seen the movie. And if you've seen Clerks, I'm going to assume that you've seen most of Kevin Smith's other works too, and are aware of the extended universe, which is the Ask-universe. When they're going to get too deep into it, I'm going to try and not reference other movies as much as I can, just in case somebody's listening to this, right? But the vulgar clown. Have you seen the movie Vulgar?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
So, long story short,
the premise is shocking, man.
This guy, who is played by Brian O'Halloran, Dante in this movie, is a clown, a children's clown for hire. These guys hire him for a party, but it's a bunch of rednecks or something. Ethan Supree's one of them, and they rape the clown, man. Like a pure Deliverance style. It's fucked. That's the start of the movie, but that's how the movie starts. Made by Brian Johnson, Kevin Smith's best friend at the time, who is the inspiration for Randall. He is Randall. He wrote that for Brian Johnson.
Can I tell you the mad thing? If I saw this place, I wouldn't get caught up in any of their shenanigans because I would just keep driving.
Oh man, this place is a shithole.
It looks shady.
This, in fairness, so we've all got one. We've all got one of these shops in our scheme.
Oh, aye.
It's just called The Shop because it's the only one about... I've got a shop run about my bit that I call The Spar. It's been about like 6 different name changes since I was away in, but like when I was away in it was The Spar. Right. And everybody from my bit just calls it The Spar. And it's like a Morrison's Extra now, but need to like see if you called it a Morrison's Extra in front of somebody around in my bit, they'd be like, fuck off, that's The Spar.
I remember going up to a shop up by the Biggie in... that was these big rocks that we called the biggie. And I remember going, "Oh, can you help me with these, please?" Asking the man, and he said, "What's greens?" And I said, "That's the name of the shop." And he said, "No, it isn't." And I said, "But that's what me and my mum and I call it." And he says, "The name of the shop is the Greens." And I remember him making such a thing about it, and me going, "Just give me my what's this?" Perfect location for a movie. Boxy, it looks phenomenal. We have the Quick Stop groceries, and we have RST video beside it. Clerks 1994. Do you see this cute Alsatian?
This is a beautiful big dog.
This is a nice dog.
I like the fact that the dog is taking over the entire bed while Dante is lying in a closet sleeping.
A phone is ringing and a man falls out of a cupboard having slept there. We get these title cards. This is Dante falling out of the cupboard.
It's an iconic shot,
It's
but
a
it's
bit
a bit
daft,
stupid.
man.
Is it implied that he slept in there?
Definitely. And
That's
why?
a tiny cupboard, he would have been sitting up.
Isn't that more in line with like if he was a drinker or a party
Yeah,
animal?
it totally looks like he's hungover. Like, this is something that would happen to you after a mad party. You wake up in a cupboard and you're like, where the fuck am I? But he's not anything like that. He's quite a calm, reasonable guy for the most part, and he's sleeping in a cupboard.
I love Clerks. It's a weird opening, especially for this character. Randall should be waking up like this.
Yeah, it makes more sense for Randall.
He wears his hat backwards.
Yeah, he's the cool guy.
He's a cool guy. He's asked to work. He says he can't. He's playing hockey at 2, and he just closed last night. Whoever's on the phone is promising that they will be there by 12. He says 12. He says, if you're not there by 12, I walk.
Yeah. And he says, promise. You promise you're going to be there. And he makes him promise and everything. Pinky as well. And then we get our wee opening montage here. Man, what do you think about these boots that he throws on?
Here, these boots were channels, man. He just looked through a pile of clays.
He picks up his clays for the flare. And he's not like sniff his t-shirt over to see if it's alright. They do this in a lot of movies, especially in the 90s. It's that whole grungy thing where like the ripped jeans and the sort of dirty looking clays. I'm sorry, this is manky.
Oh, he's pure manky.
Wash your clays.
I don't know how he got any girl at all, never mind 2.
2 girls are like way hotter than him. Like,
12, aye, right, Dante.
See, right, okay, we'll get there, but his numbers are padded.
He is, I think we need to do a check on the numbers.
Saying that, man, like, if you think this is bad, in Clerks 2 he pulls Rosario Dawson,
No.
Absolutely no danger. Look, I'm no here to comment on somebody's physical appearance.
Rosario
I'm painting myself.
Dawson is a goddess.
That Rosario Dawson's like next level, and let's face it, they even say it in the movie, he's a hideous chud.
He then makes a chocolate milk, and the cup that he uses is the lid of a cookie jar.
It's minging, man, like it's so dusty.
It is like the roof of that is going to have all this biscuit dust.
Is it a chocolate milk? I assumed it was coffee.
I always assumed it was coffee. There's no hot water involved at all. The script also tells you it's chocolate milk that he has in the morning. Isn't that crazy?
Child, man, what a big fucking man-child.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to paint about Dante. The trouble is, if there's any conflicts, we always know Dante's just a wee bit more regimented than Randall.
Yeah. But Randall's a lot more comfortable with who he is.
That's it.
Yeah, like Randall knows that he's a waster and he's accepted it and he's fine with it.
Comfy with his position.
Whereas Dante's got this thing where, I need to be better than this, but he's doing nothing to help himself. I remember hearing about it in one of those list shows, see like Channel 5 or whatever, would do those list shows all the time, top 50 movies of all time or whatever. And I'd sit and watch all them all the time. And it was like top 20. And
you sat and watched the top 50 programmes on Channel 5, all the time.
When I was away, those were on all the time and I would watch
In
them.
your house.
No, but I'm talking about this was like...
You've got a remote with 4 air channels, bud. Forrest Gump is might be on one
Forrest on Sunday night.
Dad! 13 top 50 Forrest Gump moments after the film. Can you believe it? Say your prayers, son, we'll watch it.
I'm laughing because it's so accurate. Nah, but that's what it was always on, like, late night on, like, Channel 4 maybe, or Channel 5, and it was always after, like, Graham Norton. Remember Graham Norton used to be late night on Channel 4 on, like, a Friday?
Graham Norton was bouncing back in Channel 4.
Exactly. But then after that, after, like, South Park and the wrestling was on, they'd have these big
Celebrity
lists.
Deathmatch.
I'd watch all my shows, all my stories, and then I'd watch my lists. Right? Man, I did not get away until I was 17, as you can tell, right? So I'd watch my wee list, and there was like top 20, I don't know, indie movies of all time or something, and this was like number 3. But then I seen Clerks on, and I thought, oh fuck, I'll watch it. And it's one of those like life-changing moments where like I watched the entire movie and I was fucking glued to it, man. Glued to it. I didn't finish until like 4 a.m, like there was sunlight coming in the bottom of my door, but I was just like, this is one of my favourite films ever. And I was just caught up in it. I was caught up in the war, caught up in Kevin Smith, caught up in the comic books, like the whole. I went to public HMV, whatever DVD store, and just bought like Clerks, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, like as soon as I could.
You were getting older and craving. I mean, it's new wave, it's new Hollywood. It's what changed cinema in the 60s and 70s. It's 5 easy pieces. It's conversation. It's challenging society in a way. It's just brilliant, and you are just a voyeur to all these conversations. He was heavily inspired by Richard Linklater's Slacker, and both filmmakers, in my opinion, are our cherished two of
that
painting Gen X.
Yeah.
It had never been done like that. And both Richard Linklater and Kevin Smith are the greatest at that. Linklater, in my opinion, is a far superior filmmaker. That's just my opinion. But Kev's got his place and he's doing his own thing. It's not a competition in any way. It's just, it is what it is. We get quick stop groceries. It looks beautiful, like you said. Dante opens up the entrance, turns on the lights and starts the day, gets the coffee going.
This is so satisfying to watch. This wee montage of doing things is so satisfying. The coffee going into the wee pot, the newspaper's been collected, the way he cuts them with the scissors, he goes out to this like newspaper stand or whatever.
He steals newspapers out of the, and then he gets his dime back as well.
Yeah.
The shutters won't unlock. He paints up a sheet with shoe polish. I assure you we are open, and hangs it over the shutters. An iconic image. Totally iconic. We have justified that. Technically, Kevin, the filmmaker, needs the lights inside. He needs that natural light shut off, and he's wrote it into the script perfectly.
It makes sense. It adds to the shithole of this shop. It makes it more dark, it makes it more dingy. The fact that they've shoved all the locks with chewing gum and they say a bunch of savages in this town, it adds to the town as well. It
paints such a picture, and then throughout the day everyone is referencing the fact he smells like shoe polish.
Yeah, it's constantly mentioned.
Great writer.
Yeah.
He hangs behind the register with a glorious sign which reads, "If you plan to shoplift, please let us know." This is kind of the infamous shot just behind the counter.
100%. And this, I think, encapsulates our relationship as well. Like, I don't know about you, but walking into that shop in the morning, starting the routine, turning the fridges on, getting it back, putting the lights on, putting the shutter halfway up.
Meaningless tasks, but you're looking forward to talking to your mate all day.
Aye, because like I can't overstate how much this movie is us meeting. Like, them talking about Star Wars all day was us just constantly making movies reference. Like, we would go through entire days just making Simpsons references at each other.
Oh,
to get through a work day.
I remember, and I think about this sometimes, like, you were so hung up on a creepy pasta kind of story about the Simpsons. This one day,
you're talking about
I sat outside our workplace for an hour after work. After work.
You didn't get him?
You know me. As soon as the shift's done, I'm just a dust shadow. Where did he go? And I was sitting enjoying this conversation. Yeah, it's you're bonding over low wage working, just making nothing. Maybe try to evaluate your place in life, where you're at that point, and you're young, and we bonded so well over movies. I remember the shifts you would phone and say you weren't coming in, and you knew you were stuck all day yourself. Brutal, man. Retail bonds people in such a great way.
I know this is a bit of an exaggeration, but like, see the way that people that have been to war together.
That's it, yeah.
They're like, man, you've been through some shit.
Yeah, no, retail's horrible, and people deserve way more money for that job. What they need to take on a daily basis is vile.
It's unreal.
I've been in the company of people that spoke terribly to like retail staff.
Never allow that.
I will never look at that person the same again.
Yes,
that job's hard enough, and they're working harder than you most times. It sucks, man.
It's a thankless task as well, because like when you're doing your job right and somebody says good job, it's only when you do something wrong you'll get shit for it.
Totally.
It's not like when you're a waiter or something you'll get a tip. You don't get tips in retail, you can't.
Cashing out, the till's doing £3.50. You have to take that home with you. That how aggressive they were sometimes with us about stuff like that.
Aye. But where's 50p doing? Where's this 50p? And you're hunting, you're on all fours on the floor looking for a 50p piece. It probably just fell down the side, or you just miscounted or something. Do you know what I mean? But it was horrible, man.
It's weird, man.
I can't believe we put up for it as long as we did. You got out first.
Retail's a circus, man. It should be way easier than what it is, man.
I know that I bring this movie up a lot, but I'd like to do it one more time. But say who shot Shawshank Redemption. You got out first, man.
I was Brooks. I'm the old guy and all.
You were Brooks and I'm Andy Dufresne. I'm like, oh fuck, man. I was like, I'm happy for you that you go out and like, please write to me. But at the same time,
me and a pigeon that I just start calling Max. Max?
I don't even know his man, who cares?
I cared about that wee bird, man.
And then
Do you think the bird hung itself?
It says Brooke was here, then peck.
It keeps flying.
No, that bird hit him, man. Brooks was hanging, and that bird was just like, ooh, yum.
I pain his eye, boy, man. Man, Ryan, we need to talk about this film, man.
I don't think I'm going to stay.
You need to stop saying that. And then every time you do that, I go, can I take a piss, boss?
Oh, I don't know what is it. What is that? Oh, make
sure your bags it twice.
Make sure your man double bags. Make sure your man double bags.
Last time your man didn't bag.
He's like, I'm sorry. That sad old bastard, man. He's sat by a car.
Can I?
He doesn't know what a car is scared.
He's so scared of moles, man. I remember howling in school when that happened. It's like he's an alien. Oh, dick. Man. Oh, God.
Anyway,
Can I tell you what Brooks missed the most? We didn't know what Brooks went in for. I think he misses crime.
Exactly.
And you know what crime, man?
Oh, aye.
He's a bitchin'.
And he wanted to hug himself, man.
You didn't see him in the bird alone. Vilification. We get the cigarettes. This whole bit is so good.
That's excellent. So, the cigarette guy comes... Well, he looks like a normal guy. He asks for a pack of smokes. He buys a coffee and asks Dante if it's okay if he drinks it here. So he does. So he's sitting there reading his newspaper, drinking his coffee. Somebody comes in and asks for some smokes. He sells him some smokes, and then this guy starts his shit.
He produces a manky lung out of a bag and then a throat ring.
Aye.
He talks the kid out of getting a pack of smokes, then convinces him to buy some gum.
The kid, by the way, is the first of many Walt Flanagan appearances.
Many.
Walt Flanagan is all over this movie. And didn't necessarily want to be. He was just Kevin's best pal and was just hanging around on set. And they're like, Walt, can you put on this wig and do this thing? He was never planned to be the guys, but he was just so good at it.
He's got a reasonably good crowd around him that's lifted him up and vice versa, man.
Put it this way, I still listen religiously every single week to Tell Him Steve Dave,
Right, okay.
which is Walt Flanagan and Brian Johnson's podcast.
I was a huge Smodcast fan. I was there from the start. And it makes me sound like a total dick, I took off once it got too big. When he was going to shows and all that, it just got too big, man.
I stayed with it as long as Mosier was there, because I would listen to anything Scott Mosier does. And we'll get to Scott Mosier later because he's amazing in this movie. My point is, Walt's in this movie a ton. He's the guy who first gets converted not to buy cigarettes.
The video store external shot, RST, and we get them right. Oh, here they are.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay takes a drink, spits it and dances, announces we need some tits and ass. Yeah! And he starts low punching the air.
Jay is amazing. Jay, I know he's not a great actor, I understand that. He just oozes charisma.
He was never supposed to be a great actor, but he's had good moments on film.
Oh, now he learned to be a great actor.
Yeah.
He will say it himself, he was a kid who was just a bit mental. See the Jay character, that's not him acting, that's what he was like. There's this hyper Wayne that would just like titty fuck stuff and all that. Like the
Kevin Smith. Yeah, he knew he had something with Jay.
Yeah.
He knew that it was a mission to put a camera in front of Jay. He says he would always brush him off because he was younger than them. And he was just a wee annoying kid. He was so hyper. And one day he falls in love with this kid because he goes round the room and fillets everything in the room.
He used to work in the rec centre.
And
him and Walt.
He literally fillets every object in the room.
It's like a bunch of like arcade machines, so all the joysticks and that, he just starts wanking them and like putting his mouth around them and all that, as if he's getting. And he wasn't doing it for anybody. He wasn't like looking over his shoulder to see if anybody was looking.
And he says
doing it.
He did it for ages as well. He wasn't trying to make us laugh. He just did it. And then some few days later, he just starts coming round for Kevin, and they just start hanging out.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then if you really want to go down the path, there's great conversations about Kevin dealing with Jay's addiction eventually.
He was a saint during that period.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And he had dealers going to Kevin's door and everything in LA.
And he had a baby at the time, like Harley had just been born.
There's a really, really fantastic series in a period in his life where they went out for the Star Wars figures.
Yep.
The Greedo. Is it Greedo figure?
Yeah. Very rare figures. I think it was Toys R Us they went to every morning or whatever before it opened.
Every morning, but really what it was doing was giving them a routine, and it was actually giving Jay hope. And it's one of the most, I remember everything about that. It's incredible.
It's in his book, and it's
My Boring Ass Life.
Yeah, but it's also online, like just the Jay stuff. It's called Me and My Shadow. It's just like a series. It used to be on the View Askew message board, so obviously that doesn't exist anymore, but I'm sure it's archived somewhere. It'll be on Reddit or something. It's tragic, but it has a very good ending because Jay's done amazing. He's got like 2 kids and a beautiful wife. Like,
that's great.
Jay's just amazing on screen. Not great at delivering lines or anything, but he doesn't need to be. He's just so funny to watch.
Jay just talks shit to anybody and everybody. He's talking about ripping heads off and partying. He notices someone in the distance that owes him $10. He says he's going to take out this guy's fucking soul, and I'm howling, man. He says, I'm going to take out his fucking soul.
That's amazing.
He says Silent Bob is rude but cute, and he's going to suck him off, and then he gay slurs him, man.
There's a lot of that in this movie.
Always forget the slurs, man. I swear to God. And a part of me extinguishes myself immediately because I know Kevin Smith is nothing like that at all. I know.
Oh no, he's a very, very pro rights activist. His brother's gay. Yeah,
talked about fucking guys and stuff. He's very cool, and it's just gotten like it's just one of the. It's
not gotten necessarily for this movie. It's gotten for the time period because that's how people spoke. Everybody spoke like this. Like, watch any movie that was released around about this time.
It's embarrassing for the time period. It's not the mid-80s, it's the mid-90s, man.
A good thing, but I'm just saying that's the way it was. And it's not good, but that's it was. Any comedy that, like, for even the early 90s, even the early 2000s, Hundreds of gay jokes. Even shows like Friends and stuff.
The Hangover's got it.
The Hangover, which was what, mid-2000s?
2009, Hostel 3, which is a straight-to-DVD thing, but F-bombs throughout it, very aggressive. So their dynamic is Jay's loud, obnoxious, Silent Bob is silent and philosophical.
He's not even sort of philosophical until one line in each movie, but most of the time he's just smoking, just putting up with Jay.
Yeah, there is love there.
Oh, absolutely.
Both dealers.
Yeah, both dealers, but it does not that it makes it better, but it's just like they're just kind of weed dealers. Like,
They're heterosexual life partners.
Yeah,
that's what he describes them as.
Obviously, the real life reason that Silent Bob's even on screen is because Jay froze in front of the cameras. He just wasn't a good actor, so he needed Kevin Smith to stand beside him to like elbow him and nudge him to tell him that it was his line.
Even in the dance scenes, it required, because he was a kid as well, everybody had to be removed from set so that he would put on the camera so he would dance. That's so cute.
But he done it all for him, man.
That is so cute, man. Oh, and if you really did think about their wee relationship and where they're at now, man, it's really nice. Back to the store, this guy is still hassling customers about smoking. He essentially compares Dante to a Nazi and gets everyone to chant "cancel Nazi."
Yeah, because Dante's like, it's up to me. He's like, oh, you just following orders. Remember the last people that are following orders? Nazis.
We notice Veronica coming into the store in the background. When it gets heated, Veronica sprays the crowd with the fire extinguisher.
We get this big guitar riff.
Veronica susses out that the guy is a Chuli's gum rep.
Because he's like, don't buy cigarettes, buy this. And he does the whole thing where he's like, buy this. How about this? Here's some gum.
Man.
Salesman. It was working until she found it.
But that is an interesting life he's living if he's just walking about.
Store to store, causing it.
Convenience stores for Chungi, man. Like, what?
Aye.
Veronica kicks everyone out, but Flanagan's character remains to pick up a pack of smokes. Dante and Veronica talk. He hates his job. She says he should be in school. She asks if he's even supposed to be here today. He says no.
You get the first of many. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
That's another running gag, but it's always letting you know this is taking place over one day. It's great, man. He says there's a promise that he'll be released by 12. Veronica says he should get some light. He tells her there's gum stuck in the locks. We get another sign. Please leave money on the counter. Take change when applicable. Be honest. He pure does not care at all, man.
Yeah, we done this. We done
yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Who gives a fuck? Veronica says, are you sure they're taking the right change? He says the people who think there's nobody around to watch them automatically feel that they're being watched. Which, you know what? It's absolutely true.
Sound theory?
If I was in a shop and I seen a sign like that, I'd be like, oh, here.
I've always loved how this is framed. It's so intimate.
Him lying on her, doing her nails.
They're on the floor and the counter, very tight space. The camera is really tight on them. It's so cozy and intimate.
Yeah. They start talking about the difference between male and female orgasms.
They're talking sexual politics, yeah. Dante says men generally just need a wet hole.
That's not true. I mean, I guess he's being general, and maybe it is true in general, but that's... I don't know about you, but I need a bit more than that.
Dante says men generally just need a wet hole and women need much more to get off. They talk numbers. Dante has slept with 12 women in total.
Come on, Brian O'Halloran.
Cousins don't count.
Can he pay for them?
Veronica has been with 3 guys. Veronica keeps encouraging Dante to get back to school.
She hits him for saying 12 and calls him a pig.
Yeah.
This is explored much better and in much more detail in Chasing Amy, which the whole point of that movie is Kevin Smith being jealous and insecure about girlfriend's past. He had an ex-girlfriend who was quite promiscuous or whatever, and he had a big problem with it because he wasn't as promiscuous.
It's because she'd been with a woman as well and he hadn't explored.
So Chasing Amy is obviously, we're not going to get into Chasing Amy, but basically the whole point of the movie is that Ben Affleck's character is almost ashamed, or he's kind of slut-shamed her because it comes out that she, remember the whole finger bangs thing, she was banged by 2 guys at the same time, and he can't take this because she's got a past and she's kind of like, get over it, like we've all got pasts.
Men generally can't, especially when we're younger though. If you're lucky, you change and you learn.
Yeah,
and
but
you
that's
grow.
the point I'm trying to make. Kevin Smith wrote this about himself because this is a real life experience that happened to him. Kevin Smith was going out with some woman when he was in high school or when he was in his 20s or whatever. They broke up for a while and she slept with a bunch of guys and then they got back together. He couldn't take it. Even though he also slept with a bunch of women, but he thought that was acceptable, but he judged her for sleeping with a bunch of guys. And then he hated himself for it, which is why he wrote Chasing Amy. The point I'm trying to make is, like, I get it when you're younger, but like, I don't know about you, I wouldn't care. If I started going out with
You know me well enough to know I wouldn't give.
If I went out with a woman, right, I met a woman, right, say I've got divorced and I met somebody and she's like, I've been with like 40 guys. I'm alright, cool, man. Like, that means you know what you're doing.
No, it's no. When I was younger, definitely. I think any guy that would say different is an absolute liar because we're just not mature enough.
You're driven by jealousy.
It's all we have against women is shaming, and it's always out of nowhere. There's it's never warranted. It's hypocritical.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't work the other way around.
It doesn't work the other way around, but we're supposed to hold them in a different light. It makes no sense at all. That only comes with age. I was a wee fanny when I was young, and I was,
so was that
definitely like this. Like, yeah, it only comes with age.
Back now that we're older and settled down, you can. I can't believe I used to be like that or anything like this.
I mean, Chasing Amy's a perfect example. It's been about 8 years since I've watched Chasing Amy. I guarantee it isn't totally cool, Chasing Amy. I guarantee it.
No, but I think Kevin Smith has acknowledged that. But then again, it wasn't cool, but he wasn't cool when he, like, because he's writing about himself in his own life, and he's admitting that I wasn't cool. This is why I wrote this movie, because I was a piece of shit at one point, and I'm putting it into my art.
They get up and a customer is waiting. This is Snowball.
Man, Scott Mosier, I know I'm jumping the gun here, man, but he should have been nominated for this role. Snowball is an incredible character.
He's so just all over the place.
Scott Mosier is like the most effortlessly cool guy I think I've ever known.
So handsome as well, man.
A fucking beautiful man. See,
handsome.
We're going to get into it later, but see when
the roof scene
on the roof and he's
oh my god,
I want to jump his bones.
He's wearing a wee plaid shirt or something. He looks so handsome, man. So Snowball and Veronica know each other.
Oh, hey, Veronica, man.
He's clearly like a bit of a greaseball, not a bad guy. He's just...
He looks like one of those guys that's on shrooms or something. Like
round the back, sniffing gasoline, man.
Or like pens or something like that.
But not a bad guy.
Oh, everybody knows this guy. He's like the local sort of drug guy. You're like, what's happening? He's like, hey, man.
Snowball and Veronica catch up a little. He gets a soda and some smokes and then bails. Veronica explains why they call him Snowball. Ryan?
Oh, thanks for passing the buck to me on this.
I've literally wrote that. I'm not saying that.
He's called Snowball because he likes when fellatio has been done to him, he likes it spat back in his mouth.
What?
He's
dumb? He's dumb?
Yes. That's why they call it Snowball.
Man.
Like white balls.
Listen, I can't judge MD.
No, I can say it's disgusting. No, like, I don't care if you do it.
I don't want snowballed. I don't think.
Involved.
I don't want snowballed.
No. This is the first time I've ever heard this term. It was because of this movie. I don't even know, was it a real thing, do you think? Or do you think it was made up in this movie and then inevitably people have done it in real life because of this movie?
I imagine Kevo probably liked it.
He probably did, didn't he?
Probably, man.
Bastard.
Probably.
Again, no judgment. If that's what you like, fine. But no.
Dante is furious she didn't mention fooling around in the counts. He's bothered.
In fairness, she does say I've only been with 3 people.
It doesn't matter. I've pulled that one before I know, man. You didn't ask me about that.
That's semantics at that point. But if you blow somebody, I think that counts.
Veronica snowballed him. Dante is furious she didn't mention fooling around in the count. He's bothered and wants to know how many dicks Veronica has sucked. She says she needs a minute.
I love the fact that a customer comes and buys something as she's counting, and he doesn't even acknowledge or look at the customer. He's staring at Veronica the whole time as he takes the item, puts the money in the till, gives her change, and he's still staring daggers at Veronica.
She says like 36. He's raging.
He's like 36 or 36, and she goes, 37.
No, he asks, does that include me? She says, 37.
And he goes, I'm 37. I can't do it justice. It is amazing. And in fairness to Brian O'Halloran, he's a good actor. He's amazing.
I think she's great as well.
Oh no, she's great. She's consistently good. I think Brian O'Halloran in some roles can be a bit.
Yeah.
But here, he's excellent. He's so outraged, and he's so funny, and he's so out of line. Well, not out of line, but like the way
he's out of line entirely.
No, I mean, like, I get that it's a shock to the system if your girlfriend turns around and is like, only slept with 3 people, but then on the other hand, I also sucked 37 dicks. It's a bit of
But broken down through years, that is he hot. Like, if you've been sucking dick for your
Here's the thing that worries me. I don't really care that she sucked 37 dicks. It's how does she remember? I don't. Could you count?
I
How many dicks you've sucked?
After like 18, you'd think you'd forget, wouldn't you?
18? I'm talking about after maybe 10, because then you're out of fingers. Apparently I can't count after that.
Jesus, man. He's just turning ruin star again. A customer comes up, he screams, my girlfriend has sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
That
amazing. Still kills me.
It's so excellent, man.
It's so well done. The timing is excellent, so funny. She storms out of the shop.
We have an external...
Angrily. Yeah, we have an external shot. There's this guy leaning against the RCS video. She storms out. Dante follows her angrily. He stands at the doorway and goes, try not to suck any dick in your way in the parking lot. And this guy who's standing outside follows her.
That is so great.
It is a great gag, man.
We get the next title card. Rando. A customer is raging the video store isn't open and he's pure pelting Rando to Dante.
Yeah, Dante's just taking all Rando shit here, which is a theme of the movie, Dante taking shit that he shouldn't be.
He's basically saying their jobs are shit, they should be doing something else important.
Yeah, he's basically giving him a bunch of shit, which isn't his fault, because Rando is late. Rando then gets outside, it's another external shot, outside the video store, there's a woman waiting in line. Rando walks past her, then walks back into frame.
He tries the door of the video shop and pretends to be a customer.
He just starts fucking with this woman immediately, and that kind of encapsulates Rando. He's always fucking with somebody just for his own amusement.
This woman he's talking to is there to get dental school, and he says he's there for that very same tape.
That's amazing. So funny.
He says he bets her $20 that he gets his hand on that tape first. She says, sure, asshole.
Aye. And then he walks into the quick stop, and we've got...
He shuffles in to the quick stop.
Doing the Rando dance, that's what it's called, the Rando.
So I can do a story here.
Right.
I went to see Jay and Silent Bob's reboot in London in 2000.
Did you enjoy it?
It was rough, man.
I liked it.
Funny bits in it.
Yeah, it's
not
good
a
bits.
great film.
It's not, yeah, I agree.
At all.
I think Matt Damon's cameo was hilarious.
Damon's good. Hemsworth's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're getting off topic. You went to see...
It's always the problem with these events, and it's always what puts me off them. No disrespect to anyone else, but a girl had too much alcohol and a few rows behind me, and it isn't a question she asks. She asks to come up on stage and do the Rando shuffle, and him being a great moderator. This is something he's made a side career out of. He's a great presenter, a great host, and a great moderator.
Those two, Evening with Kevin Smiths, are better than most stand-up DVDs, man.
He's
so funny. The Prince story, the Batman story with this giant spider are iconic.
He is a master storyteller, so he knows how to handle this. He lets her come up on stage and burn out in front of everybody. She does the shuffle herself. He claps and she goes, and it was so awkward. It derailed the thing for a good 5 minutes, but he knew how to handle it. It was cool to see. So he shuffles in. They have such great chemistry from the get-go.
And they'd only met each other like a week or two before. They were strangers at this point.
And you know they're two different people, just like these characters.
Yeah.
Brian's a bit more conservative feeling, bit more stiffer, bit kind of...
Even in their audition tapes, I watched the Clerks X DVD and all the extras, did you?
Yeah.
I watched the DVD, I watched the documentary, I watched the extras, even their auditions. I think Brian's doing some Shakespeare.
He's very much the character from Mallrats to me.
Yeah.
Is it Gale?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, the upper crust.
I'll pour us a Bordeaux, take you out for a picnic and we could dance the night away or something like that.
I think that's exactly it. It's amazing. It's something like that, and that's what his audition's like, and I think Randall's just doing the script for Clerks or something. But it works so well. These guys work amazingly together. This is just magic on screen.
He asks why the shutters are down. He says about the gum.
Savages in this town.
Bunch of savages in this town. Dante gets the tapes and heads to work next door. We get the guy who was insulting Randall to Dante. He's wearing a brown leather jacket and he's looking for his keys that he's left in the store, and Dante throws them in the bin.
In the trash, yeah, that's right.
He walks past Randall and Randall says, "No time for love, Dr. Jones," because he's wearing a brown leather jacket. And the guy looks at him like, what?
Amazing.
That is such a great insult. And he just looks at him like, you wee dick. Another title card. Syntax. Randall goes shopping. He picks up snacks and a juice. I like when he walks past the aisle and he says, snack cakes.
Yeah. The writing is just so crisp, man. This is the first of many heavy dialogue, heavy scenes between these two.
Yeah.
The first of like many of the big topics of conversation. This is about Caitlin and Veronica.
Yeah.
They talk about sexual miscaps. I think Randall at one point says, one time I called a girl mom. We find out through the newspaper that Randall's reading that Caitlin is engaged.
How crazy is that, by the way? That, like...
People still do this to this day, I'm sure.
Feels like a pure medieval thing, doesn't it?
It absolutely dates the movie as well, but it still
happens.
Like, well, it's birth, deaths and marriages, that's the section that it's called, but people putting in the paper that they've had a wedding, people putting in the paper that they've been engaged, I don't understand it at all. Like, I guess now that we're living in a day of social media, so people just do that on Facebook or whatever, but just to phone a newspaper and tell them to print that you're getting engaged.
It's so narcissistic. It's so... I don't need that kind of attention.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that everybody that we know have probably done it, like our parents in that generation, but I think this died out pretty quickly.
I don't even want you taking time out of your day to put my death notice in, man. Just get on with your life, man. Like... I don't need notice like that. Like, just get on with it. Like,
as long as I've sorted out my wife and the weddings, like with money and stuff, I don't give a fuck.
Just
don't even tell anybody I did.
Worms, man.
Figure it out themselves.
Randall mentions Caitlin Bree and the engagement to the Asian design major. This is a running gag.
Yeah. Also, we haven't mentioned that Caitlin is Dante's ex from, I don't know if it's college or high school or whatever. Kind of shitty of Dante to be talking on the phone to this girl for hours on end, as we find out while he's going out with Veronica. He's not exactly cheating, but it's kind of suspect.
He is a scumbag. Like, Veronica is cool.
Well, that's kind of the whole point of the movie. We don't really realise it until Silent Bob drops the bomb on us, but he's absolutely right, man. It's like Veronica does nothing wrong in this entire movie and is at the end of the day treated like shit by him because he's gone back to the high school sweetheart that I guess it's his first love or whatever. I don't even think he knows. He doesn't know what he wants, which is the point.
I think this will be cut, because it's not the time to say it, but he had every opportunity to fix that in the third one, and he didn't do it. He continued to let Veronica be a gag. It was so weird, man. Why did she not come back at the end and they go together? And he finally realised it, like...
Because life isn't perfect like that, though. I think that would have been a nice romantic bow on it, and that would have worked. I don't
think life's as dour as that third film either, though.
I disagree, man. I loved that. I didn't love the film. I thought the comedy fell flat as a fucking pancake, but I think
those NFT jokes have sank that film already. Like, NFTs are done already.
That's that.
avatars and stuff.
6-month window where that was funny. And even then, that was generous.
This is where Randall asks, doesn't she cheat on you a bunch? And he says 8.5 times.
Half mean?
The half is amazing. So basically they were at a party and she's wasted and she jumps into bed and calls him somebody else. She calls him Chad and he says Chad was in another room.
That's right, that's funny.
So she's not very good to him, but he's a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, which is why he's still in this job.
Yeah.
Like, he could have easily quit and found another job long ago, but he's, as Randall calls him out later in the movie, he does this to himself, kind of. He sticks with what's convenient and comfy, even if it's not treating him well.
Tries to convince himself otherwise. He says Caitlin still calls Dante. He swears she's a different person now. We get more of Jay dancing.
Again, amazing. I love these just wee clips of Jay just dancing. Like, it's not a big plot point, but like it does cut into the movie at times.
But it colours the world around you.
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
It makes this outside of the quick stop feel alive. The customers and scumbags and your regulars, even the drug dealers are, you know what I mean, happy personality.
Colourful characters. Yeah. We get the infamous porn title scene.
Do you know about this? The trivia of this scene as well?
I know he didn't want to film it in front of the kid. I love that.
That he didn't want to say it in front of the kid, and he didn't want to film it at all because he knew that like his family and that would be watching it. So he went up to Kevin Smith and he's like, "Look, man, can we like change some of these so they're a bit more PG? Like, you can still talk about boobs and stuff, but can we take out the cunts and all that sort of stuff?"
Isn't the rumour that
Kevin Smith took the script and wrote about 6 more on it?
Yeah.
And apparently the 6 more he wrote were like even more explicit, which is funny. That's a good gag.
Oh.
And do you know what? In fairness to him, he nails it. He reads these out without breaking stride. I couldn't get through reading all these out in front of a Wayne without bursting out laughing.
Dante calls up the paper to see if Caitlin's engagement was a misprint.
How sad is this,
the
man?
entire thing was a misprint.
They hang up on him.
It's so specific. Caitlin, Asian design major, was that a misprint?
Yeah, and they say something like, "Is it the spell?" He's like, "No, not the spell," in the entire post. We've got a convenience store cat that we haven't mentioned. This cat's adorable. It just looks around the entire... It doesn't do anything. The cat uses the litter box on the counter as a customer waits and the customer is hating it. Jay, Bob and Jay's Russian cousin Olaf are talking. A girl asks about him and Jay says, "I don't fucking know. Do I look like his biographer?" This is so funny, this guy, man. It's so random. He's like, so if you imagine, like, you know Springsteen with the big bomber jacket and the t-shirt, he's got that kind of look with this big mad hair, big crazy kind of fro going on, big mad Wolverine fro, and he says his name's Olaf, and they say he's metal, he's in a metal band, and they say, "Do your metal face," and he shows her his metal face, and then he sings, and Jay's like, "That's fucking funny, man." So, what does he sing? He sings Berserker. Berserker. I want to make fuck Berserker. And she's like, "Did he just say he wants to make fuck?" He's like, "I don't know." Randall watches movies in the store. It's framed beautifully. This looks so comfy. Got his hands up, and every image behind him is a black tape with a white reel. It looks beautiful, man. When I seen this movie, and still today, to be honest, is my dream job. Maybe not now, but sitting watching movies for a living. Again, he says this quote later on. I don't want to use it now, but this job would be so great if it wasn't for the customers. But imagine you get paid to sit with your feet up and watch movies. And that was your job. Randall locks up and checks in with Dante. Oh, Dante's trying to get this Pringles can off this guy's horn. It is disgusting. I really like this guy, man. I think he's cute. There's a really cute, naive thing to this guy's performance. Yeah, doesn't he say something like, "Why do I always put the tasty ones at the bottom," or something like that? And he thanks him at the end and he leaves, and I really like that scene, man. I like the scene too, but what I don't like is once he leaves, Dante starts eating these Pringles that this guy's sweaty mitt has been in. I was like, "Oh, you know there's knuckle dust in there, man. Knuckle dust. Oh, you're absolutely eating some wee hairs. Oh, purely Pringles, man." Also, Pringles, everybody knows when you get to Pringles, you tip the thing to your horn. You don't try and stick your horn in.
Man.
As a fat man, I learned that fast.
No, I fist it, man.
Do you?
You
can't. You're a wee skinny wee boy.
I go in, man. We have Rando and Dante, and they are talking Jedi versus Empire.
But one's better. Go.
Empire. Every single time, and it's not just because it's darker. I like Return of the Jedi a bunch. It's just Hoth is so great. Dagobah is amazing. Like,
it's got the introduction of Lando Calrissian. It's got Darth Vader when he's in that conference room.
Cloud City. It's just Carbonite and Han. I love you. I know. Wait.
Well, let's not get into it because we'll start fucking blowing our load over a different movie, right? But
Dante says it's true to life.
Which is true, I guess. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but I get what he's going with.
He's also telegraphing the original ending to this film when he says that.
That's right. Spoiler alert, I guess.
The original ending to this film, Dante gets shot, and it is a terrible choice for the film. And the crazy thing about it is everything in this film is still riding towards that possibility. He's questioning everything when he should just be enjoying his life. And he gets shot at the end. It is that, Fight Club did this movie in a 5-minute scene when he's holding the convenience clerk hostage.
Yep.
He then explains that man's going to go off and have the best day of his life the next day. That is what Smith was trying to give you as a feature-length film in 94.
Right.
It's just that.
But even he acknowledged that wasn't good.
It wasn't, and you rarely hear this. But thank God somebody stood in and said no.
Yeah.
Sometimes the producers are right.
100%. It totally worked. But yes, Jedi vs Empire. Okay, we both agree Empire. Although the start of Return of the Jedi when Luke fucking pimps up to Jabba's palace. Anyway, let's not.
I'm all about Leia, man.
Oh, of course, Leia's.
Rando starts the independent contractor dialogue regarding the Death Star and how it's being rebuilt. This is probably the best dialogue in the film. I do think this is unreal. He was so young when he wrote this. Yeah. And you're talking, he's bringing in the practical economics of running something like the Death Star. Yeah. That's a great idea.
It's a great idea and one that has been stolen, parodied to death now, but he was one of the first people to ever do that, at least on film. I'm sure people were having this conversation in convenience stores or at their work, but the fact that he was putting this on film, and him and obviously Richard Linklater and Tarantino were doing this dialogue that was real. Dissecting
pop culture.
Yeah, and actually talking about real shit. Like, movies were just like, you just spoke about the plot. You were just speaking to advance to the next scene, whereas nobody really in movies before was just stopped to talk about shit.
Everybody brings up 5 easy pieces with Jack Nicholson when he orders the omelette and the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And you are shocked because you're just sitting watching what seems like mundane conversations. But this is just... And it just keeps going. So they're talking about the risk factor of working on a Death Star. Here's a roofer that's a customer in the store, overhears them and comes up and gives his input, and this just gets funnier and funnier.
Yeah.
The roofer goes on to say, sorry, in the background, Jay steals food and stuffs his face.
Yeah, he's got like donut powder around his mouth as well. That's hilarious.
This roofer overhears the Death Star chat and chimes in. He says his friend took a job that he passed over because the job was for a big gangster in the area. His mate later died. He was shot in Crossfire, Ryan, is that right?
Yeah, because of a hit gone wrong.
And he says,
hit gone wrong.
A roofer listens to his heart, not his wallet. See, if I was Kevin Smith, that would be on my gravestone.
That is amazing. That's so funny.
A roofer listens to his heart.
That brings up another thing as well, though, like talking about the Death Star. Like, would you do it? See, you're a contractor out there in the galaxy. You get a wee cushy contract come in. The Empire want to hire you and build a new Death Star. Are you taking the job?
I need to, man. Have you seen what the worlds are like in Star Wars, man? Dusty.
Dusty.
I need to get the dust, man.
But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, these fuckers keep blowing this up, man. Like, I'm not going here because they constantly are getting them blown up.
I'm hearing that we blue eye thing shot a certain bit of the last one, it just blew up.
Aye,
Can we maybe cover that up this time?
First thing is first, seal up this wee hole, right? Because it's fucking ridiculous. Also, they shouldn't build it in space. They should build it at like a shipyard or a dockyard and then send it into orbit.
I would be a Han Solo type. I would play both sides, I think.
Oh, totally. You need to survive. Just be a bounty hunter. Whoever's the highest bidder. Because like,
it's all a greasy game up there, man.
It is. It's a greasy game down here as well.
It's a greasy game down here, man. At least up there, they don't want to shove your holes full of stuff as much. We've not seen any films yet, though, and they'll be great when they come out, man. Dark Star Wars.
What do you mean?
Imagine being like a prostitute in Star Wars. That's a great movie.
See, like a Vice movie.
Aye.
Like, set in the Star Wars
Vice
universe.
Squad. Aye.
Amazing.
Going after like mad aliens for sex crimes. That'd be amazing.
I would like, a pure detective, like a rough detective cop, buddy cop movie in the Star Wars universe.
Give me Miami Vice in space.
Love it.
He's even down to, he's not got an alligator, but he's got a mad weird creature that he keeps as a pet.
Yeah, there's like we find like Jar Jar Binks.
He decapitated.
No, he's
tongue ripped out.
His tongue ripped out, or he's now selling tricks. He's like, oh, Misa horny and all that, and he's like selling his wee fucking stupid body.
Misha takes six dicks.
He's still got his fucking medal on.
Oh man, no, I sold that, man.
I pawned it for gear,
man. Pawned it for gear, and gear's like green in this world.
Do you know what's annoying? The gear in Star Wars is called Spice.
Vagary, a customer and Randall go back and forth because he's disinterested. Every customer says they're going somewhere else and he just does not care.
He's such a dick to this woman, it's hilarious. He could not care less.
He does not care at all. They keep saying they're going to go to better video.
I can't remember, but yeah, basically the other big blockbuster like chain video store, and he doesn't care at all. He's like, alright, have fun then. Then she says screw you and walks out, and then he gets angry and runs over and he's like, screw me. He's like, you're not allowed to rent here anymore after she's already left. And then you hear Jay outside going, yeah!
Jay's random outbursts are so funny. We get Walt as the egg checker. I can't say I'm huge on this scene.
I think this scene's in it because that was a real thing.
It's, by the way, all of these small stories, he admits it is just all slacker. It's just all short vignettes.
Yeah, but put in one location.
Into a narrative, and it all works. I'm not arguing about it. This just isn't my favourite vignette.
This isn't the best one. I do think Walt's very funny, considering the fact that he's not an actor. And he's not even like a wannabe actor. He was just on set.
Don't think you can tell at all. I think Walt's great.
That's what I'm saying. He's fantastic for this because he's just his pal. He's like, and he got asked last night. He's like, here, put this suit on and just sit and play with these eggs. He wasn't getting instruction. He just done all this by himself. Takes a lot
to do that. That's a good friend, man.
Aye, and see the fact he puts it in his mouth and all that. I think he'd done that himself. Wasn't he told to do that?
We get another title card here. Purgation.
Randall sells these cigarettes to this little girl. He's reading a magazine at the time and he doesn't even look up. She comes into the shop, puts money on the counter. He hands her cigarettes absentmindedly, and we see the wee 4-year-old putting a cigarette in her mouth. It's so funny.
We then get the jizz mopper scene.
I love the fact that they talk about the jizz mopper and then they talk about nudie booths, but they talk about it while this customer's like standing right in front of them at the counter. Again, this is Walt Flanagan, in his third role of this movie, playing the offended customer. He
is really offended and tells him so.
In this really funny voice, I'll never shop here again. I'm going to call your manager.
And he says, if you're offended at that, you should take a look at this.
And he shows him it's like a hustler and it's just like a wide open vagina, man.
Was it?
Aye, have you not seen it?
I saw it.
You acted surprised. You paused it, you dirty dog.
Yeah, 4K in Honda.
This jizz mopper conversation as well. No, thank you.
You wouldn't be the jizz mopper?
It's the worst job in the world.
Imagine the smell, man.
The smell. What is it we watched when we talked about jizz moppers?
Howard the Duck.
Where they go into that weird bathhouse sex place.
They
Howard the Duck had like a sex dungeon.
they made that wee like child looking duck.
Was
By
it
the way,
Jizz Bopper?
it looked like a Wayne though, and they sent it to a sauna to work.
Not only is this a walking, talking duck, which nobody seems freaked out about, he also looks like a child. And they're like, let's put this animal/child in the worst environment possible.
And Leigh Thompson's still like, yep, I want to fuck that duck and have its dummy in my face.
Man, Leigh Thompson, man.
She's fine in that movie.
Oh,
man.
she is. She fucks that dog. That's so mental. That movie's mental. Anyway, sorry, Jizz Bopper, no.
A dumb in her doof, man.
Fuck's sake. What's the worst job you can get? Name me a worse job than a Jizz Bopper.
A jizz mop on a duck world, man. Like,
You're just cleaning up.
I go to Howell's World and I need to clean up their mess.
But
and
it's just feathers.
they're just shouting at me like.
And
And
they just
every,
shoot feathers, so you just pick them up, you put them in pillows.
every shift I leave looking like I've been tarred and feathered, but it's just their manky business wearing me.
You look like Joe Pesci at the end of fucking Home Alone.
Why are you dressed like a chicken? It's dumb.
They came on me.
I'm just
These dogs are fucking stink.
pure losing my mind, man. Covered in dumb every day. I need to get out. I need back to my home world.
Covered in Donald and Daffy.
Imagine I pitched that as a sequel.
It's just how the duck but in reverse. A human goes to the duck world. He has to fuck the ducks.
But
Fuck a duck.
and I'm really focusing on the sauna scene, and George Lucas is like, have you got anything else?
So no, see, to be honest, I just want to do this one scene.
It's just this.
Also, I want to play guitar at the end. That's my two requests.
Leigh Thompson would still be in it.
Can picture you going to a bar fight with a bunch of ducks. You're just punching them.
Aye.
But it's not even like...
It's no, they're
It's
no in
not people in
suits.
outfits. It's just actual ducks.
Just me hooking ducks.
You're just stamping on them. Feathers everywhere.
Oh. They talk about the customers they hate the most, and we get this amazing montage of all those annoying customers.
I can't tell you how accurate this is. It's fucking scary.
It is perfect. I have also walked into shops and said, how much is that? And the sign is right above you.
Yeah, like Poundland, perfect example. Much as this in Poundland, you're like, oh fuck, I feel like an idiot. Weird side note, Poundland, nothing is worth a pound in Poundland anymore.
It's all went up.
It's fucking crazy.
I've seen them charge £6 for something in Poundland.
You're like, why call it Poundland?
Get
at
it
this
out of
point?
here. This doesn't work.
Like, I get the things have went up, but you need to either change the name of your shop or just stop selling it.
It's no longer a land of pounds.
No, it's just a name.
It's just a shop.
Kieran, is there no value in anything anymore?
Nothing matters anymore.
If Poundland isn't worth a pound, then what the fuck are we even doing?
I don't even think there's jizz to mop up anymore.
Did you hear that the Doomsday Clock's been moved closer?
No.
They've moved it down. They're predicting that the apocalypse is going to happen even sooner than they predicted.
Fair play, man.
Thank fuck, man. Get us out of the way.
You've got wings.
Can't wait, man. But we'll all be gone. Do you know what I'm saying?
We'll
We'll all be gone, Kev. Like, I don't want to leave this. I don't want to leave the world and leave them in it alone. And I don't want them to leave me, certainly. But see, if we're all gone,
You're happy with that?
aye. And I don't mean just me and the Waynes. I mean,
I don't want to go wheeze. No, I mean him staying.
No, you, your cat, your dog, your wife. We're all gone, man. I'll see you on the other side, brother.
You're right. Spraying your mouth silver. I am waiting.
Me, you, and a bunch of ducks in paradise.
That's Valhalla. It's just me and ducks. You're pure gutted. Your family went to heaven. You're stuck with me.
Me, you, in a big bathtub.
And I just keep talking all the time that way a day.
We're just constantly podcasting. We never get a break.
And nobody's listening to it.
Just like this one.
Veronica brings him a lasagna. This is a big lasagna.
This is a proper dinner. This isn't a lunch lasagna. This is a dinner lasagna.
She prepped that the night before.
Yep, this would feed 4.
It would probably feed 4, definitely. I'd. Front.
It's in cellophane. You know what's going to be a belter when you put
It
that
will
in
be
the
a good
microwave.
lasagna. You know he's not heating it up.
No, he's eating that cold.
He's raw dogging
He's
it.
picking at it throughout the day as well. He's not even like eating it. He's not using a fork.
I think
He's using his fingers, the big dirty
I
bastard.
think he just puts a straw in it.
Oh, the milk.
He sucks the lasagna up, Ryan. He calls it his pasta straw.
Bits of mince keep getting stuck in it. You have to squeeze it.
And what's that white gloopy stuff on a lasagna? What's the top
Cheese
bit?
sauce.
Is that a cheese sauce?
Aye.
Or is that a white sauce?
Oh, it depends what you make it with, but you can use a white cheese sauce. Doesn't it matter?
They're a bit of an enigma, lasagna, aren't they? Do you ever think
Because you
that?
can get veggie lasagnas, you can get chicken lasagna.
What's ravioli about?
Fucking get you that together, Italy.
Chenky sucks up ravioli, I know. No, he gets a parcel and he goes like a Capri Sun. He sucks out the meat.
So it's just layers of pasta.
He goes, so
With
he
the meat in between.
eats a bowl of ravioli like this. And it's just a pile of empty ravioli.
Empty pasta shells.
Aye.
He doesn't like pasta, he just likes meat.
She says hi to Rando and he shouts 37.
So funny.
Title, Malaise. Dante finds out he has no cover and he's stuck there for today.
Not only that, he finds out that his boss had no intention of ever meeting him at 12 o'clock. His boss has went to Vermont.
He's away Vermont.
You need to quit or just leave. I would just leave and lock the shop. And this is one of the sort of many times from now until the end of the movie where Randall has a proper word with him here and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he's treating you like shit, and you're just letting him walk all over you.
I mean, I know, yeah. I know I wouldn't be treated like that a second time off any, but I would be like, I'm going home, I've got something going on.
You were on the phone to your boss this morning. Your boss begged you to come into work even though you closed it the night before. You reluctantly agree because your boss promised you on the phone. You made him promise that he'd be there at 12 o'clock to let you go and play hockey. And your boss not only doesn't show up and breaks his promise, but has just went on holiday to fucking Vermont.
You need to show
like
everybody in your walk of life that your commitments are commitments, regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
It matters to
But it
you.
shows you how little Dante means to this boss.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dante finds out he has no cover. He's pissed he's going to miss a hockey game. Then he realises maybe we don't need to miss this hockey game.
Yeah, he's still pissed off his boss, so he tries to take it out in the most rebellious way he can. He should have just left and went and played hockey, to be honest, but...
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, but he comes up here an alternate, which is a pretty smart idea, and that is he invites his friends to the store and they have a hockey game on the roof.
They tape up. This is when a fellow player asks if they can get some like Gatorade, and he's like, man, you need to pay for that stuff, and he calls him a shoe polish smelling motherfucker. Can I tell
What a
you
great
what's so
insult.
funny about that? Because you notice that about somebody and you just keep it until you call them it. So he's noticed that as soon as he walked in the shop.
He's like, he sticks this in the shoe polish.
Why does this cunt
And he
smell
waits
like
until he
shoe?
annoys him before he pulls it out. That is top level insult,
And he
man.
pulls it out when he denies him a Gatorade. A roof game is very stupid, but it looks cool. It isn't walled at all, so
Oh no, somebody could die here. and they
somebody could go at that no problem. A customer climbs the ladder because he wants smokes and starts commenting on the
beautiful
game.
Scott Mosier.
I've just wrote Mosier is handsome as all hell, man.
So for those of you who don't know, this is the same guy that plays Snowball, but he's shaved his beard and he looks like a completely different person.
He's beautiful in this movie.
He is. Handsome guy, and he's really, really funny. This scene when he's on the ladder and he's arguing with Dante about opening the shop is hilarious.
But he says he ends up ignoring that and he says, you're crap at this, you're not even protecting the
Nobody
end point.
passed to this guy, he sucks.
That is so funny that he gets involved in the game. They end up facing off. This guy joins this game
Aye.
and he rattles the ball away from the roof. There's no other ball.
Aye, and he says something like, I closed the shop to play hockey and we only get like 12 minutes. And that's it, so the iconic hockey game is over before it even starts. And then we get another title card, Harbinger.
Dante fixes a fluorescent light and a customer asks to use the toilet. He knows it's for customers, but he has issues.
This guy really lays it on Vic.
He's good though.
He's really funny. an older fellow, kind of bald, and he gives him the old pat like, "Oh, hey Sonny, I really got to use the bathroom there," and he's really sort of charming, I guess.
And Smith holds the shot as the man goes and comes back to annoy him
3 times. He approaches him.
He comes back for better toilet paper.
What a cheeky bastard.
Something to read. He's given a porno.
Because he says something to read and he's like, "Oh, there's a magazine over there." He's like, "Oh, what about those ones behind you?" And he's like, "The porno?" He's like, "Yeah, I like the big titties." I guess if you work in a shop that sells porno, you're going to get all sorts buying them, man.
There's still the garage just doing that way. Whenever I went in for a juice, you look up and it's still there, and you're still shocked when you see it.
I have never bought a porno mag
Never,
in a shop or something. No, I suppose I was ashamed when I was younger. A, obviously we've got online now, but even like B, you would either get it for a pal's house or
the
you'd
woods.
find it in a bush, or maybe order online if you really wanted one that badly.
I don't think I could keep
I couldn't go
a
to a local
hardcore.
garage and buy like a copy of, I don't even know the name of one, Tits magazine, I don't know.
I would feel uncomfy keeping it, and yet. But do you know what? I don't have porn on my computer. I'm happy saying that. I stream porn. Like,
yeah, I go into X videos or whatever.
I go on
watch
X
my video
videos
and turn it off.
and turn it off. I don't have anything saved.
That's
That would
weird.
be weird, man.
People that have folders and categories and stuff, that's...
You used to have to do that because the internet wasn't good.
Back in like the LimeWire days, because that was the only way you could get porn.
Yeah.
But see now that like these websites like Pornhub or whatever exist, you just go and you watch a video and then you turn it off.
I found my porn disc the other day. There when we were
Yeah,
moving,
you used
it
to burn
was so
DVDs,
funny.
but that's a pure... That was like a 15-year-old can or something.
I
Burning
said
CDs.
this to my wife. The idea
It
of
was your wife that showed me. So have you
saving-
seen Cairns porn tapes?
so funny, man.
And it's the word... What is it you've wrote on?
And
It's the word porn
backwards.
Your parents are stupid.
I had like 3 or 4 of them. And down the side, I've wrote College Invasion and all that.
You've wrote the names of them?
Aye.
That's all right.
Brie Olsen was definitely on one of them. And
aye.
we were talking about this because I was like, I just couldn't imagine saving a porno in this day and age.
No, that's weird behaviour. Why would you need
Downloaded a Riley Reid 4K to see it on that.
No, what was that like?
It looked good, but the trouble is with porn, they advertise 4K, but the bit rate is really small.
Of course, aye.
So it
it's
looks
all
good when
compressed.
you freeze it.
Yeah.
But in motion, it doesn't look that good. It's a pure side tangent, but it's porn, so it's kind of oddly consistent with Kevin
Well,
Smith.
it's consistent with this scene because the guy's asked for a porno mag.
That's true.
And not only that, he's asked for toilet paper because he doesn't like the rough stuff because he's got piles, he says, or something, or hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
Why does Dante give him it though? Like, I would be like, okay, buy it.
Just because he actually used the word incontinent. I know you better than you would let that guy away with murder and also with.
Oh no, I don't. I just don't care enough. Like, I wouldn't even. I'd be like, when you go, take whatever you want. Like, here's a snack, here's some crisps and all. Fuck it. But it's just weird. He keeps on pushing it, and Dante just lets him.
I wouldn't. I don't know how much
how
I'd
does he
let
know-
somebody away with toilet paper or not. I'd be like, mate, fuck off. Like,
When at first when I asked for toilet paper, see once he asked for the porno, do you know put two and two together and be like, he's asked to get into this toilet with toilet paper and a porno mag under his arm. He's not going to do a shite.
I wouldn't give any fellow man a porno to go into a toilet.
No, but
I
anyway,
wouldn't
you
want
take
to
that home with you, take that away with you.
I don't care what you do with it. I don't want to talk to you about it.
Especially because that's the toilet. That's your toilet. That's your.
Aye,
you
I need to go in
and
there. You
use.
could dent with that, man.
Oh,
I could get
no.
pregnant because you've wiped it in the seat.
That's what happens.
That is what happens.
babies
That's
are
what
made.
I heard, man. That's what I heard. That's how I heard yours were born.
Listen, man, I sat in the toilet seat after it and
She got pregnant.
I get pregnant.
I heard it. This is when Randall tells Dante that Julie Dwyer died from an embolism in the brain from swimming laps.
So again, we don't want to get too much into all the other movies, but this is also mentioned at the start of Mallrats.
Yeah.
Well, she's not in Mallrats, but they mention her in Mallrats
Yeah.
because she's originally supposed to be on that dating game that they
Yeah.
have in the mall. But TS tells her that the camera adds £10, so she goes to the local YMCA and does laps constantly round and round and round the pool until she has an aneurysm and dies.
Building the universe in the process.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's the first main thing that links these movies together. Like, there's many things, but that's one of the stories that's mentioned in other movies.
We find out that Julie was number 6 of Dante's 12.
Yes, and
the funeral is today.
The funeral is today, and Randall wants to go. Sorry, Dante wants to go. He asks Randall to watch the shop. Randall says, no, I want to go too. He's like, you barely knew her. Like, why do you want to go? And he says, because everybody for school will be here, and he calls it the social event of the century or something. No, the season. No, he says it'll be the social event of the season. This is no wrong. Like, see if there was a young death in your bit, everybody you knew was at the funeral.
Oh, aye.
I wouldn't call it the social event of the season. That's fucked up. But he's kind of right. It means he's going to see everybody for school so he can judge them.
They drive out. We find out here that they are 22. Kind of shocking.
Yeah, they don't look 22, man.
We question our lives now on the road to 40 and 22. It's no much different.
Yeah.
And COVID kind of shakes everything up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody
lost time.
Randall talks about his cousin Walter dying from trying to suck his own dick. He convinces Dante to tell him he's tried.
And then he goes, I didn't do it, fucking pervert. He just, oh man, you see him, he puts the line out and he pure bites it and he reels him in amazingly. It's so funny.
They go into the funeral home and 5 minutes later, we can tell via text, they escape the funeral home.
Well, I watched a different cut for you because I saw what happens in the funeral home.
Oh, right, okay.
So, essentially what happens is they could not afford to shoot this scene. It was in the original screenplay that Kevin Smith wrote, but it was Scott Mosier. It's like, we can't afford this. So it means we need to rent out a funeral home, rent out a casket, get extras, buy them all suits so they look as if they're at a funeral. We simply can't afford that, so they cut out the movie. However, years later, when Kevin Smith gets the Clerks animated series, they asked the animators on that to do a wee scene for them. So, in the Clerks X special edition DVD that they released for the 10th anniversary, they inserted the animated scene into the movie. So it is hilarious. I recommend you watch it. You can find it on YouTube. Again, it's only like 5 or 10 minutes long. It's a wee short animated feature. So they go to the funeral parlour. There's these cards that Randall collects. It's like grieving cards. So one of them's got Jesus, Mary and Jesus, Joseph and the baby Jesus. Do you know what I mean? And he collects them like Pokemon cards. It's quite funny. But they then run into Joey Lauren Adams' character's finger cuffs from Chasing Amy. Her and Dante grieve, and she sees Randall and she's like, why the fuck did you bring him? Everybody hates that guy. And he's just like, we called it the social event of the season, they wanted to be here. Then they take their turn to go and look at it's an open casket, so they take their turn to look at the thing, and they've put it in a tube top. And Randall keeps on commenting on it. He's like, why the fuck would they dress her like this? He's like, you can see her nipples, that's so inappropriate. He's like, shut the fuck up, because like her parents are like right behind him. Then he's like, right, I'm getting bored, like, give me your keys so I can go sit in the car. Dante throws in the keys and he drops them and they land in the coffin. On like, they land in her skirt or something, so he has to like fish in under her skirt at the open casket to get it. I'm not explaining this very well, it's very funny though. And then his dad sees him and they have a fight, and the dead girl's dad shoves Dante into Randall and they knock the casket over, and then they just like run like fuck, like a cartoon.
And then it picks up here.
And it picks up at back of the black and white movie. So basically they knock a casket over trying to get keys out of her dead vagina. With
Mourners chasing them, shaking fists angrily at the car, they boost. We get the title Perspicacity. Insert later. Dante tells Jay not to deal in front of the store. He says he doesn't, and then a guy asks him for some bud and he says, how much?
It's so funny. He's like, hey man, you got it? And he's like, yeah man, what you want?
Right in front of him. Randall wants to borrow Dante's car to go to a video store. He says he wants to go to a good video store.
This customer stands in front of them reading the paper, but he's reading it out loud and commenting on the stories, which he quite rightly is so fucking annoying. You would
it happens, and they just think that you care about their day as much as you do. And
anybody who's been in retail has had this moment where you're standing there and you've served them their thing, like, Right, here you go, here's your change, see you later. But they stand there and they linger. And
They
start talking
think
to you and
because they've
stuff.
spent some money in the shop, they're entitled to
It's
some
like,
sort of
I'm not your fucking friend.
No.
This is a transaction.
go away.
Like, I'll be nice to you, I'll be polite, I'll wave, I'll say bye-bye. Don't talk to me though if I'm not engaging with you. But this guy's talking to them. Randall's getting more and more annoyed.
He's just rapping about crap, man. He's just saying tabloid headlines, which is kinda a slacker as well. And
Randall takes a big slug of water and just spits water in this guy's face.
he
Man.
just spits it in his face.
The balls. You'd love to do that. This is one of those things that you would love to do, but you would never have the balls to do it in real life.
Dante gives the customer a full refund, and the customer says if he sees Randall again, he's going to bust his head.
And Randall is completely unfazed. Once again, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just sitting there shrugging, despite the fact that he's had his life threatened like 3 times.
Another title.
Paradigm.
We get this gym trainer. This is Rick.
This is Rick, who is... Oh God, what's his name? I've totally lost. It's Kevin Smith's childhood friend.
Aye, he
Before
plays
Walt
Thingy
Ryan.
and he's the cop and he's great. He's
But he's
so good.
also... He's now the manager of the cinema that Kevin Smith owns.
Wow.
So see the cinema...
The commuter and
Yeah. Oh my God, what's it called? Anyway, in his hometown, the cinema that he went to see Jaws in with his dad and stuff, he bought that cinema. You know, it's called like the Smodcast Theatre now in Jersey, and he shows all his movies and stuff. Do you know he lives there full time now, basically?
wow,
I think
man.
he moved to LA and he's back in Jersey, like living, I think above that cinema that he bought, and he just does like Q&As and like,
Not a bad life, man.
yeah, it sounds like a great life.
This is Rick and he berates Dante about his weight. He gives him his business card, convinces another customer to make fun of him too.
Yeah, this girl is it Caitlin's sister?
It is. But she loves Rick through the legacy. Yeah, that's fair.
Rick was like, by the way, when you were going out with her, I used to bang her.
Oh man, it's funny.
What a cuck.
I think. See when he's like, I drove a black Trans Am. Even I'd have banged Rick behind Dante's back,
It
man.
reminds you of that bit in Billy Madison when he shows up in the motor to high school.
He's got the Firebird and he's wearing an REO Speedwagon t-shirt in
And
the
he puts the collar
90s.
up and he's sitting and everybody's looking at him, giving him snipers.
A man with a briefcase comes in and he's sort of on the sidelines. We
Yeah,
see him-
he asks some questions, but he's too busy talking to Rick and Caitlin's little sister. So as they're having this conversation, this guy with briefcase is like writing down something on this paper. He unknowingly admits to selling cigarettes to this 4-year-old, even though it was Randall that done it.
Earlier in the movie, he gets a $500 fine, and whilst this is sort of going on, they're still having their own little bit about Rick fucking Caitlin, and this is when Caitlin's little sister says, "We all knew about it."
Dante's the only one who didn't know. This pure cuck.
This is the worst day of his life.
Man, what a fucking arsehole. Like, help me should feel bad for him, but you're just like, you pathetic bitch, man.
It's the goatee, I think, man.
It doesn't help him, it's doing him no favours. And the jumper that he puts on later, he deserves a doing.
They boots on him.
Those manky boots that he put on when he went down a cave with a canary.
Fucking went down the green room with them. They call Dante a sicko and walk out together. They're going to go to the beach and he's going to bang her.
Yes, he's going to bang Caitlin's wee sister.
Going to go for the double.
The double whammy.
Rick's doing just fine, man.
I know he's in good shape, he's a personal trainer and he's banging chicks and he's Trans Am.
Did you notice he pure power checks him when he's
He
way
did.
out?
And Dante does nothing like
I'd
a
have been
bitch.
like that.
Aye, you would even do the wee fingers up behind him so he can't see you because he'd batter you.
Caitlin appears.
Off screen, we just see him looking up and saying the word Caitlin, but we don't actually see Caitlin at this point because it cuts to Randall.
Yep, Randall walks gloriously around a major video store. He is
looks like
very
he's in
happy.
heaven. He falls to his knees with his arms outstretched as if like this is what a video store is. So yeah, we go from the video shop back to the store and Caitlin is now back.
Customers congratulate Caitlin and the engagement just randoms. It's very funny. Jay dances in the shadows. I love this scene.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a beautiful shot.
It looks fantastic. It actually looks amazing still. The black and white really helps it.
This is used terrifically in the third Clerks and it hits all the notes of nostalgia and you feel all of it, especially with that young man dancing. All of those scenes are incredible. Caitlin says that they are not engaged, she and the Asian design major. She said she had to think about it. She doesn't want to rush into her life and just be a wife.
Yeah, her mum put it in the paper.
Yeah.
I think the Asian design major contacted her parents to ask their permission, and then they just went and put it in the paper before Caitlin even answered. Because Caitlin didn't say yes, she said I need to think about it. That's fucked, man. That whole sentence I just said sounds pure medieval, doesn't it?
It's weird. Dante wants to know if he's got anything to do with her decision. He makes it clear that he wants her. Caitlin is willing to fuck. She does admit he is somewhat responsible for her being back in town.
Yeah, she kind of begrudgingly admits it though. She doesn't want to give him the inflated ego that it was all because of him.
She doesn't want him specifically. She just isn't ready to be tied down. Yeah. She's not gave up being kind of crazy yet.
I think she's picking the easy option. This guy likes me. He's from my hometown. He's pretty fucking desperate and he'll do whatever I want. I think, not to judge her too harshly, but I think she's kind of using him. Yeah. And at the same time, he's totally using her as well because she's the comfort. Whereas he's got this woman, Veronica, who seems perfect. Well, perfect as a girlfriend, but he just isn't into her for whatever reason. But instead of being brave enough to tell her that, he's just a pure chicken shit about it and just decides to go behind her back and, again, doesn't cheat on her necessarily, but has a conversation about cheating on her. It's weird.
He's more than willing to, though, and
he's emotionally cheating. Is that what they call it? Emotionally cheating?
Emotionally involved, and yeah. He has the opportunity to genuinely carve out the next chapter of his life with Veronica.
Yeah.
He, like working in the store,
yeah,
that would be dead end with Caitlin. She would treat him the same again, and he would have
but he likes a cycle.
Exactly.
It's comfortable.
Rather than take on the next chapter with Veronica.
Okay, he should have went with Veronica and he should have went to school with Veronica.
Yeah. She's just trying to do right by him.
Mm-hmm. She does nothing but back him up this whole movie. Veronica, that is, does nothing but back him up, say that you're smarter than this, you're better than this, you can go to college, you can make something yourself. And he just doesn't want to hear it because he's just a big fucking lazy bastard.
He's stuck.
Yeah.
He's stuck. Jay dances in the shadows.
Randall returns and he's brought a video with him from the video store.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's went out to this big fancy video store just to buy a porno called Best of Both Worlds.
It seems specific. Caitlin agrees to a dinner on a movie date with Dante. She kisses him and leaves. Jay continues to dance. Bob smokes and then dances alongside him.
He's brought this to the shop to watch with Dante. So I think he's like not watching this for any sexual satisfaction. He just wants to watch it just because he's curious.
Dante is totally cool with all of this because of the Caitlin situation.
Yeah, Dante's happy. For the first time in this movie, you can see him smiling.
We get a great sight gag here. Jay makes a sign and puts it on the door.
Oh, right, yeah. It says, what does it say? I suck cock or cock smoker or something.
I love cock.
I love cock. He puts a sign on the door and he chaps the door. Dante opens it and then the wee speech bubble says, I have got it. It's so immature, but it's really, really funny.
We get another title. It says Whimsy.
Caitlin shows up at the store. She's dressed for her date with Dante. Dante's went home to change. Randall's just sitting, chilling, watching this hermaphrodite porn. And Caitlin seems unfazed by this. She's not like, why are you watching this? I guess Randall's known for this or whatever.
She knows Randall as well. There's a good chemistry between these two as well.
Totally. There is a good chemistry.
I like how casual she sort of is with him.
She's casual. She's like, she talks to him the way he would talk to her. And he kind of innocently flirts with her as well a wee bit, but it's not in a creepy way, more like a cute way.
She can match Randall.
Yeah, because he gets kind of weird and she is right there on his level. She asks to use the bathroom and Randall says yes, but the lights don't work back there. She asks him why the lights don't work. He says, they always go out at like 5:13 on a really specific time. We don't know why, because the guy that owns the shop's too cheap to pay for an electrician.
It's also going to be really convenient to this next bit in the script that comes up.
This is where things go mental. So,
can we mention this is Lisa Spoonyor that plays Caitlin, who we just lost a few years ago?
She didn't. I didn't know that she died.
Died, man. I found this out researching the podcast 2 weeks ago, and I could not believe this was the first time I heard it, man.
And this is the first this is me just hearing about it now.
Caitlin died, man, May 20th, 2017. That must be... See, for, like, Brian O'Halloran, man, like... And Marilyn... Man, like,
That was a big break.
that's tied to that one thing you did in your life that made a difference. Like, that's really hard, man. Cancer she struggled with, man.
What a sin.
Gorgeous lassie.
She was absolutely beautiful.
She was beautiful.
So she goes into the back to use the toilet again. Randall's mentioned that the lights are out, which is convenient. There's a very short chapter because the next chapter is called Quandary. Dante comes in, and I can't hear anything because of the fucking state of this jumper that he's wearing.
Do you see this thing?
Caitlin comes out this toilet and she is looking delighted. She comes out the toilet and she's like jelly legged, glowing, sweating. She looks like she's had the time of her life. She comes out very happy to see Dante. She leans against him, says that was amazing. He looks thoroughly confused. He looks at Randall. Randall looks at him like, what the fuck is she talking about? She then says that when she got to the toilet, Dante was in the back waiting for her. She says it was so romantic and passionate because he never done it and he didn't say it and he just sat there and let her all do all the work. Randall's like, oh, is that a fact? And they have this moment where like Dante and Randall look at each other and she's like, right, this isn't funny anymore, what are you talking about? And he's like, I wasn't back there. And Randall's like, no, he's just walked through the door. And she's like, well, if you weren't back there, and who the fuck was back there? And then we just get this quick jump cut to the guy under the sheet with a hard on.
Man.
The dead body getting put under this sheet and he sees her dick still up and the coroner's going through what happened. It is so funny. Basically, and that old guy from before, he's took his porno mag and his soft toilet paper, he's went in there for a wank, had a heart attack, I guess mid-wank, and he's still hard. And then the lights have went off, Caitlin's in there. Somebody was Dante and fucked that dead body.
Man, she did not think she would be a necrophiliac by 6 o'clock that night.
This movie takes a turn. It's hilarious, but like watching this movie, it's quite grounded until this point, and then it gets mental.
It's mad.
My
She's not going to be the same again.
Well, you see her, it's so funny. You see her sitting in the back of the ambulance, and she's got a sheet over her, and she's in shell shock. She looks like a pure Vietnam vet. Do you know what I mean? Oh. My favourite scene in the entire movie as well. Did you notice this? The coroner's going over what happened. The guy gets taken into the back. Caitlin's sitting there and shot, and Snowball climbs into the ambulance.
It's so funny.
He just climbs and sits down casually, and they close the door and just take him with them. He's so funny. He's
also in like 1 or 2 other shots just around the store. Like just
there's another shot they mentioned where the metal guy shouting Berserker,
and he's like getting into the song.
He's like, that's beautiful, man. It's so funny the way he just climbs into this ambulance. That's it. Caitlin's out of the movie.
Yeah,
she came back into Dante's life, agreed to go out with him, and then fucked the dead body, and is now on her way to it. And this continues in the Askewniverse. They mention Caitlin a few times. They mention an animated series. I'm sure they mentioned her in another one of the movies, maybe Jane Silent Bob Straight Back, where I think she lives the rest of her life in like a mental institution because of this. She goes crazy or something. It's weird.
I mean, you wouldn't be normal after it.
Next heading, Lamentation. This is where we see Salsa Shark. What do you think of salsa with Doritos? Do you take salsa with your Doritos?
Oh, I totally take salsa.
I don't mind salsa.
I would say you're not
a cream guy.
Both, sir. Everybody's welcome to the party, man.
No, I'm not talking about like nachos with dip on it. I'm talking about like if you just need that.
You're purely going for sour cream. That's madness.
I've had to choose between the two, aye. Don't get me wrong, let's see, like, if you make a bowl, you can put both on. Like, you've made me nachos a few times, and they're always fucking loaded with salsa and sour cream and guacamole.
You need both, Big cheese. Daddy. You need the works, man. Nachos are the best.
We get Salsa Shark. Dante's just been... The only way I can describe him at this point is just an emo. He's lying on this fridge. He's like, oh, my life is shit. My girlfriend fucked a dead guy. Which, in fairness, is something to be said about.
It would get to you.
But he's lying there like a pure emo teen. He might as well have a big fringe cover in his eyes. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those moments. This is where Randall pulls out the quote, "Shit or got off the pot." Basically, you keep on talking about these things, but you don't do anything about it. So either you quit, go to school, get another job, whatever, but stop just talking about it and actually fucking do something with your life. Randall's really good in this because even though he's a piece of shit, basically, Randall at least knows his station in life, and more importantly than that, knows his value or lack of value.
He cements it even further, and Jeff in the sequel in the prison scene is
what a scene! That's a great scene.
I remember rewinding it, watching it again, and he's just reaffirming to his friend, "I'm sorry you had such a shitty time, but I've actually been having the time of my life working with you." Any good friendship, you and I have done it. We'll cut each other. We sometimes need to be honest with each other, and we do that all the time. If we think they're one's going through something, we bring it up.
Yeah.
And that's what he does here. And it works great, and it means so much more that it's night now and the shift's coming to an end, and we're going to reset and start again tomorrow, and we feel all of this. It's a day in the life.
Yes. It's a very short scene because we're now at the next scene called Juxtaposition. This is where Jane, Silent Bob come into the store. Dante, I think, is cashing up at the end of the night, or we can feel that it's near the end of the day because Jane Bob's shift is over. They're done drug dealing. They're away to a party, and Jay says he asks Dante if he wants to come with him. He's like, "There's going to be lots of bitches there," or whatever, as he says, "a lot of sluts," or something like that. And Dante's like, "Nah, I'm good, man. I'm not going to a party with the likes of you," or something. He's still a bit of a dick to them. And Jay calls him out on it. He's like, "Oh, I think you're fucking better than us, fucking Dante Hicks, fucking bitch." He gives him some shit, but also is like, "I hate that Veronica chick." He says to her, "She seems pretty cool, man, doing shit for you. I hope she changed her tyre for you one time." And then we have that beautiful scene by Silent Bob. So Jay walks out, says, "Fuck off, Dante," or something. Calls him a cock smoker or something, walks away. Then Silent Bob takes a smoke his cigarette, and it's his first and only line of the movie. He says, "Not every chick brings you a home cooked meal at lunch."
There's a lot of fine looking women in the world,
but not everybody's going to bring you a home cooked lasagna for lunch. And walks away.
He's sort of pointing at something that Dante never realised at all. That is such a kind gesture by somebody that deeply cares about you, and you're pursuing nothing. Somebody that did wrong you,
and this is the light bulb moment as well, because you see Dante literally like look up and be like, "Fuck, he's right. Like, she's amazing. I love her. I'm in love with her." And it's at this moment you think that he's actually going to do the right thing for a change and run to Veronica and apologise for the whole Caitlin thing. Oh, either apologise or just pretend it never happened and choose to maybe turn his life around. But while he's doing that, while he's discovering that, next door in the video store, Randall's telling Veronica everything. Not to be a dick, I think he's trying to do him a favour. He's trying to tell Veronica so Dante doesn't have to. I think, can't he?
He's just a big excited kid as well. He never entirely means it. Like,
no, I don't think he's meaning anything.
But it's like the big clit thing in the sequel as well. He's just obnoxious, and he's mostly he's not a horrible person, Randall. He's just trying to make life a bit more interesting. Yeah. That's all it is. He's just trying to make life a bit more colourful. There's nothing wrong with that, and you do need people like that. It's totally fine.
100%. Like, sometimes it can go wrong, like it does here, but like, other times it's important. He doesn't have a lot of bullshit. Like, he'd rather say the shit out loud. And so he's trying to basically tell Veronica that it's over and that Dante wants to be with Caitlin now. He's not doing it to be like, as you said, be bad. I think he's trying to
be the bulletproof vest for his pal, possibly. Like,
he's trying to let her down gently.
Kids, a little monstrous cat. Clerks is a certified Eedjit feature. 4 out of 5 coconuts.
Beating him up with her handbag. He's lying on the floor, pathetic. She's yelling at him. This is great. She's amazing in this scene, by the way, Veronica. She calls him out for everything he is. A coward, piece of shit. He's not good enough for her. He never has been. He could be so much better, but he's not. Basically, everything that we've called him already and that he's called himself. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but he basically says that he loves her at this point, and she's like, it's too late. And she leaves him. She
Yeah.
breaks up with him. So now he's went at the start of the day for having this amazing girlfriend to cook some lasagna, and apparently this other ex who's
Necrophiliac.
now an ex-Fulak, and now at the end of the day he's got nothing and nobody apart from Randall.
I'd still rather be him than Caitlin, man.
Oh, absolutely. I would rather be single than a necrophiliac.
A pure accidental necrophiliac, man.
Now, when they're at the end here, we're at the chapter called Catharsis. Randall walks into the shop and immediately Dante starts attacking them.
Yeah.
They have this fight. I watched both cuts of this movie, by the way. I watched the theatrical version and then I watched the original uncut version with the different ending. And this fight's much longer than the original cut. They cut it for the theatrical, which is better.
This is when the
fight
owner of the
drags.
store walks in when they're filming and gets quite angry.
Not even angry. It's funny because I listened to the director's commentary as well, and it wasn't when they're fighting, but see after they're fighting, when they're lying on the floor amongst all the sweeties, I've done that scene. So the owner of the store walks in at this point, and they're filming this scene, and she sees the mess, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And she says that she just turns around, get back in her car, and just sat in her car. Is that like with a pure 1,000-yard stare? And Kevin had to go and check her, and she's like, "What are you doing in my shop?" And he's like, I promise I'll clean it up, don't you worry about it, and like when you open up in the morning it'll be fine. Basically, Dante's takes out on Randall for telling Veronica everything. Randall says that he was trying to help him, and then Randall starts getting angry at Dante, being like, "Fuck you, blaming me for all your problems. Like, I didn't force you to phone Caitlin, I didn't force you to be a dick to your girlfriend." And Randall sticks up for himself here. It's like the third time in this movie that Randall calls him out, but I think this is the only time that he really hears it, because they got up and they cleaned the shop together, which I think is real. I think they actually had to clean it. Like, it wasn't just for the movie. They cleaned the store, and that's it. But at the end of it, the final chapter, they're standing at the door saying goodnight to each other. There's a sight gag here. Did you see the newspaper? Says world's fattest man weds world's tiniest woman. That's the newspaper headline. And they basically say goodnight to each other. Say, "I'll see you in the morning." He asks him to do the Randall shuffle one more time. So Randall shuffles out the store, and then he rips the "I assure you we're still open" sign off and throws it back and says, "By the way, we're closed." And he throws them at him, and that is the credits in the theatrical version. In the longer version, Dante goes round and starts cashing out, and then somebody comes in with a gun and shoots him.
To imagine that they get up to these crazy shenanigans every day,
Yeah.
and it leaves you so happy with that thought. Clerks, 1994.
Yeah, so this movie is like the first movie that I really like got obsessed with. Like, I love movies, always have, but this was the first movie I remember that like I wanted to know everything about it. I read everything I could online. I got magazines and books. I wanted to know everything about this universe. I read every interview to do with Kevin Smith. I bought all the comic books. Like, I've got the Clerks comic series. Did you ever read that? I did maybe do a separate review of that one day. The movie is the start of a universe. And I know we all talk about universes these days, like Marvel and Star Wars and shit like that, but this is like one of the first of like interwoven storylines and characters that go over like decades worth of movies. And it all began here. I love the fact that this is such an indie film in every sense of the word. It was made on the cheap. It was made with love and passion. It was made by two guys that just met each other in film school, faking completely different backgrounds. But the writing is so good, it's so sharp, it's so relevant. I loved it when I seen it as a teenager because I liked all the Star Wars chat and the dick and fart jokes, but now watching it in my 30s and relating to these people, and in some cases like judging these people as well for being arseholes, even though I'm sure that I was that guy at one point as well, it makes you think. This movie, it's a lot more, makes me feel emotional now at this age, whereas before it was just a fun movie. But now it makes me think more in life, and if I've achieved everything I want to. And any movie that can make you think like that, I think's a good one. So, with all that being said, it's not the perfect movie. I'm not going to give it a 5, but I think a very solid 4 out of 5.
Okay, man. That's cool. Clerks, 1994. This is a quote from Roger Ebert from his review of Clerks. I really like this. Hardly anybody ever works in the movies except at jobs like cops, robbers, drug dealers and space captains. One of the many charms of Kevin Smith's Clerks is that it clocks a full day on the job. The movie has the attitude of a gas station attendant who tells you to check your own oil. It's grungy and unkept, and Dante and Randall look like they have been nourished from birth on beef jerky and Cheetos. They are tired and bored, underpaid and unlucky in love, and their encounters with customers feel like a series of psychological tests. That nails it for me. Smith captured the frustrating, meandering and strange everyday occurrences of retail perfectly in this, and creates a whole universe in the process. I think Kevin Smith is a fine writer, and some of his early works are still quoted every other week for me. I think he's very important culturally, as is this little movie. And I'm so grateful to have this so I can reflect back on the early days of you and I before we both get married, get mortgages, kids, a little monstrous cat. Clerks is a certified Eedjit feature. 4 out of 5 coconuts.
Black and white. So I'm thinking maybe next week we had a wee bit of colour, a wee splash of colour to this thing, man.
Yo!
I'm thinking the colour blue.
I don't know if you've noticed. My hat's like a shark's fin.
Tell me, Mr. Franklin, have you ever known anyone with Alzheimer's?
No.
What if you could end all that suffering with a single pill? Give me till Monday morning, 48 hours. I'll give you results that'll skyrocket your stock price.
In the most advanced research facility in the world. Wow.
Beneath its glassy surface, a world of gliding monsters.
A team of specialists is working against the clock.
Did someone order the fish?
On an experiment to benefit mankind.
Sharks never show any loss of brain activity as they age.
We're this close to the reactivation of a human brain cell.
But before they can save millions of lives...
Tell me I didn't see that. They recognize that gun.
It's impossible. Sharks do not swim backwards. They can't.
They'll have to find a way to save their own.
Just what the hell did you do to those sharks?
Did you feel something?
Jim and I use gene therapies to increase their brain mass.
What is that?
As a side effect, the sharks got smarter.
Somebody, please, tell me what that is.